Yeah. Welcome to Fantasy Dad Duo, and I'm a little teapot short. I'm still in dad mode, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. The wife went through it tonight trying to put the kid down. It was one of those, she can't breathe. I'm going to try and use this what do they call the things that suck out the snots?
Oh, the baby Frida.
Baby Frida tried to use it. It didn't go well. Couldn't even get it in her nose. She was screaming before she took it out, and she was already.
Oh
so
God,
it was
man!
Not,
you got to just take the syringe of saline and just like shoot it up there. That's the way to do it. Just
you
go
can
full
even
board.
get,
they're gonna scream anyways.
Yeah, if you can even get it in their nose. She's just been. So I had a sinus infection, and then the wife got sick, and then the baby got sick. So like it's been.
Is that why you sound like shit?
Yeah, that's why I sound like shit. She's had like the last 2 weeks. She's had 4 teeth coming in, so it's been a doozy in the Sitz household, a big old doozy.
Teething, man. It's like you feel like you're finally gonna sleep, and then those teeth pop out, and you're fucked.
Correct.
We were just talking about breweries. We were talking about Treehouse Brewery. Is that your number?
Brewery.
Is that your number one?
So it was my number one, and then it got taken aback a little bit because of there's 2 other breweries. One is no longer out there. It was Stubborn Beauty in Middletown, Connecticut.
Oh, they closed?
They closed last February, I want to say. February,
sucks.
The February before. I get something about canning got too expensive, which they're not wrong. It got too expensive, and they were a little bit of a smaller establishment, so that was my favorite beer. They have closed, and Lord Hobo, I believe in Rhode Island, is also out there. They're pretty damn good. They got Boom Sauce. Boom Sauce is one of my faves.
Yeah,
and then you got Treehouse Brewery. They've probably got 50 to 100 beers. Every single one of them is good, even if it's not an IPA. It's amazing. You can't go wrong. They've got ciders. I think they have a winery now. They
got a few locations. They got every beer. Every beer is almost the same beer for Treehouse, but
I mean,
it's so
but
good.
It's not.
Yeah, I mean, but the difference is like this much. But it's so good that I don't care. Like I'll try all 50 beers, even if it's the same beer.
100%.
But Treehouse, Trillium, and Bissell Brothers are my trinity. Those
Bissell Brothers is absolutely fucking amazing. Trillium is another good one. That's a little further up in Mass.
Yeah, Trillium has a Boston location too, though, so they were accessible for me. But yeah, so I'm a big beer guy, drinking some counterweight tonight, showing up. But anyways, let's get to it. Let's get to the show. We're gonna be doing our favorite player in each round, players to build your team around, some safe zone consistency players, and we're gonna mix in a little bit of IDP chatter into that safe zone. So let's start with our favorite players in each round. Round 1, Jeff. There's a lot of different ways you could go with round 1, but I'll hand it over to you and you could talk about your guy.
Ron, I got to go Bijan. You could go. So I like where you went with Gibbs. That's the right idea. It's exactly where I'm going. Generally, Bijan, I mean, I'll let bygones be bygones, and I'll take shit if it needs to after I'm going to make this comment. Bijan and Gibbs are pretty fucking close to being the exact same player. They're the guy.
Yeah.
They're the guy that we talk about them almost every single fucking week, and that's why I'm going to say that they're almost the same player. They're the guy that you're going to go to as a quarterback every single fucking down if you need to, because they're the ones that can handle it. They'll get the receptions, they'll get the carries, and at the end of the season, they'll have over 1,200, 1,500 rushing yards and over 500 to 800 receiving yards because they're able to carry that weight. So as a first-round pick, that's like, I mean, one of them is usually going to go, one of them will go top 3, 1, 2, or 3 every single year. in my opinion.
It's a little bit of a cop out. It's a little bit of a cop out for us to pick Bijan and Gibbs. I get it because they're top 3, 4, 5 at the latest picks. Chase can go above them, Puka sometimes, JSN sometimes. It's a little cop out, but most first round players are a little bit of a cop out. So
yeah,
my guy is Gibbs. I traded up in our league to get a top 3 pick so I could grab Gibbs, Bijan, or Chase. I think it's going to be Gibbs, for me if I could get him. But they're just studs. Like you said, if their team is playing from behind, they're getting receptions. If their team's playing from ahead, they're getting carries. They're the number one guy in the red zone on their team. They're just superstars. So if you one of those guys, you take them. If we're looking a little bit later in the first round, I'm still probably going to look for a running back. So if we're talking later first round, I'll go like James Cook. Maybe
Cook in the first round. Is it just because of the year that he had last year, or are you talking just in general?
If I'm at the end of the first round,
10 or 12, man.
Yeah, if I'm like at like 12, I like James Cook there. I'll even reach on Omarion, and that'll bring me into my second round. I'll reach on Omarion Hampton.
Yeah, Omarion, Jeanty being my second round as well. It's one of those, if it's a guy that will go early second round, late first round is not a bad reach.
Yeah. So they project to be like Omarion projects to be the bell cow for a great offense in the Chargers. And another big thing about Omarion is like when he was healthy last year, he was averaging 20 points a game. 20 fantasy points a game.
Oh, I know.
And that offense should get better. That offensive line should get better. It's like there's no reason he shouldn't average 20 to 25 fantasy points a game and be a first round pick. So
yeah,
I'm taking Omarion everywhere. Yeah, I mean I'm taking him. I have a hard choice between him and Cook. I'm probably taking. The only reason I would take Cook above Omarion is because I would believe Omarion might slide to me in the second round. But I'd probably get cold feet and I would take my guy. So Omarion Hampton, I'm going to own an absurd amount of him this year. I love him.
He's definitely. So Jeanty is another one of those guys. That's my number 2 that I would go for in the second round. But like I said, if you're reaching for him at like 8, 9 in the first round, in a 12-man league, I wouldn't be against it. And it's also because I think he's going to have a fucking enormous year this year. He's going to have a guy that actually, being Fernando Mendoza, he's actually going to want to fucking hand the ball off to him. He's actually going to throw the ball to him. And he's actually somebody that has his wits about him to actually use that football the way you need to. Let the Jets deal with everything else that's not going to do well this year. But aside from that, I do think Jeanty is that perfect second round guy that you need to put all your money in on.
Another big reason I like Jeanty is the Raiders improved the hell out of that offensive line. They went and got the best center in football in Lindenbaum from the Ravens. They're going to be better at quarterback. They improved their offensive cord or their head coach with Kubiak, and he's going to be the OC also. Just the kind of guy he is. He'll be calling the plays. He runs zone run. Jeanty, he's another guy that I'll be taking high. If I miss on Omarion, if I miss on Gibbs, Jeanty is a target of mine. So you better get him before me, Jeff, because I will snipe your ass.
Aside from that, look at this. I have a little shadow going on right now. I have a little bit of a user error. Hold on a second.
Hey, look at that shirt, brother.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
You like that?
That's
Father's
awesome.
Day, baby. There we go. All right, there we go. Oh my God, you couldn't see me for a minute there.
Woo! Much better.
A little bit of Jeff error going on there. Yeah, you like that? Look at that.
Man, that is awesome. Best dad ever, and it's true too.
Thank you, sir. Hey, you're not too shabby yourself there, Jackie boy. Not too shabby.
Thanks, brother.
All right, so round 3. Let's jump in.
This is
Round
actually
3.
when it starts to get interesting, and let me just go back to round 2 just a little bit. I
Okay.
love round 2 this year. It's like if I could move into the second round, even back from the first round into the second round, get extra picks there. I like a lot of players in round 2, so it's like
So I had a conversation with a random guy from work that I've never talked to football about, and I noticed a lot of the players that he was bringing up are round 2 guys this year.
yeah, round
And
2's
I'm like,
hot right now.
he's talking about taking a lot of these guys in the first round, and I'm like, holy fuck. We're talking about round 2 guys right now. And in a league, you're going to say it, in a league where everybody's doing their homework, every league's got guys that don't do their fucking homework. We have an 8-man league that's cutthroat, and there's still guys that don't do their homework. I've been the guy that doesn't do his homework. So it's just, if you've got a second round where there are guys that could go in that 12-man league, 6 to 12, 8 to 12, 10 to 12, but they're going 1 to 7 in the second, like that's, I mean, this season's going to be the season that everybody's going to draft. And then that second round, they're going to be like, holy fuck, these are a bunch of like go-tos still. Not that they normally aren't, but the amount of go-tos that could be bumped up into that first round this year, there's a lot.
If I were to tell you, Jeff, that you walk away from the first and second round, with Justin Jefferson and James Cook, or Ashton, Jeanty, and Saquon Barkley, which team would you feel better about?
Oh, the running backs.
You'd feel better about the running backs. They're both
duo.
in the second. They're both in the second round, and both of those two first names are in the first round. So, I mean, that's just testament to like this second round is loaded. Jeanty, London, Etienne, Barkley, AJ Brown, Omarion Hampton, Trey McBride, Brock Bowers. I mean, it is loaded. I like all those names. I could see all of them at the end of the first.
I get giddy about every single season, obviously, as you do as well. But this year, there's like a special little bit of giddy in me because right now, I mean, we're very early on, very, very early on. I'm still looking at the NBA draft that just happened last night. I'm still looking at a whole bunch of stuff that's going on with hockey because hockey's fucking blowing up right now with trades. A lot of people want to get moved. I'm still watching baseball. I'm still doing my Dynasty Baseball League, but I'm so fucking giddy about football right now because there's just the little inklings that are coming out, the little rumors that we're seeing, the little snippets of certain players running away after they get out of jail. You know, it's just nice. It's nice to see things like that, and I take it all in, and I'm so giddy about how this year is going to go because everybody's, for the most part, healthy where we are right now. Last year, there was already guys that were hurt. So we're early on in the season. We're not even in August yet where teams are starting to really push on the practice pads. But we're at a point where there's not that many injuries yet. We can get giddy.
Yeah, I every year I debate what my like favorite event, like sports event is. It's like, is it the Super Bowl? Is it the NBA draft? Is it the NFL draft? Brother, it is the fantasy draft season. I love fantasy draft season. That's what I get the most juiced up more. Yep. About over anything. I love it. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped. And this year we are going to be
over a month out
prepared.
We're still over a month out, and the two of us are hard dicked and ready to go already. It's nice. Very exciting. Round 3.
Let's move on to round 3.
Round 3. Yours has got me confused. I'm a little confused because we know he's not going to play at least, I'll say 10 games if he's in this season at all.
Yeah. So if I'm drafting today, I'm not taking Malik Nabers, and that's the name, because I don't have enough information. But if we see him run one route and find out he's on the pup or something, if we found out he's on the pup and going to miss 4 games, that's enough for me to draft him anyways, because
you got balls of fucking steel.
Like we've had this conversation.
I can't do it. I can't do it. If it's one of those things where even We're in the preseason. We're getting giddy. If you're fucking hurt, you're dead to me. You're coming back a dinosaur. That's the way that it is. Like, that's just, and he's one of my guys. I'm a fucking Giants fan. Huge. Love him. Dead to me in fantasy. I'll watch you. I'll cheer for you. Dead to me in fantasy. You're a dinosaur when you come back. I'm sorry.
Jeff, if I were to tell you Malik Nabers is 100% healthy, would you draft him over Justin Jefferson?
Yes.
So that's why he's my steal in the third round. Like,
is that where I got him last year?
You got him in the second round.
Second round last year. Okay.
So like you might have gotten him in the third, actually.
I thought it was a steal. I might have snagged him with a steal. It might have been that double pick.
Yeah, it was that double pick. First pick in the third round. You're right.
First pick in the third. Yeah.
So
an elephant never forgets.
So I always say I don't like taking risks in the first 3 rounds. Well, that's going out the fucking window.
That's right out the fucking window. That one's a risk, brother. That's a big fucking and that whole.
It's a huge risk, and
the minute you're drafting and you see that PUP next to somebody's name, it's like, don't press that red button, Jackie. Don't press that red button.
I'm not going to be able to help myself because I'm getting a first round caliber player. I'm getting a third round caliber player first round caliber player in the third round. And look, it might fuck me. It might. But I'll just draft a little bit safer for the rest of the draft after I
think about how much smarter you'll look though if it actually pans out. Hell
yeah. And if he's healthy for fantasy playoff season, I trust myself to make the playoffs. And
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So I'm going Nabers. And if it comes out that he's going to miss like 8 weeks or something, I'll back way off and I'll snag a Rashi Rice, who's also full of risk. But what are you going to do? Full
of risk. He likes running away from the cops, so we're good. He didn't actually run from the cops. It was just him trotting out after he got let out. No big deal. It is a big deal. For me, Jeremiyah Love, third round. So the list that we looked at, I think it's absolute like terror that he's in the third round. He should be going beforehand, in my opinion. We haven't seen him yet. We don't know what's going on. He had another great running back on his roster in college, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you're going to say. I think it's insane that they have him sitting there in the third round. Steal, in my eyes, because he will be starting on the cards, and he will be one of my starting cards. I mean, he's the full package. Jeremiyah Love, baby. I'll take him in that third round all fucking day if he's sitting there. That's a steal. A steal.
Yeah, and if I'm being completely honest, I'm putting Love above Nabers and Rice too. He's going to get all of the passing work in Arizona. Jacoby Brissett loves to throw to the running back, and a rookie in Carson Beck, even if he comes in, who I'm not high on Beck, and I'm not high on a fantasy offense if Beck is the quarterback.
You already know I'm not high on Beck, so.
But he's going to check down, right? Because he's going to be overwhelmed with the NFL offense. So a ton of that work is going to go to Jeremiyah Love. So
yes, the ball is going to be in his hands over 75% of the offensive game.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a tremendous amount of touches, and even if he gets 15 a game, he's explosive enough to make it work. So it's like,
correct.
Like, yep. His bottom floor downside is 15 touches a game, and that's like a high end RB2. Like, third round is stupid.
Third round is, and you just said the same thing about the second round. So here we go. Is it just the fact that we're this excited, or are we actually looking at a fucking draft season that's going to be nuts because everybody's got? I mean, it's before these rookies came in, when the rookie draft was going on, or like a couple of weeks beforehand, I heard people say that this was a weak rookie draft for fantasy football. I think they're wrong.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I think it's fine. There's only like 3 wide receivers I like, and there's two running backs I like. So
come on, Jackie, that proves for you. You're fucking killing me. Only 3 wide receivers you like. There's 12 guys that went in our fucking dynasty draft in that first fucking round. 12 guys that went, and out of those 12 guys, you would have taken every single fucking one of them if you could have, because they're actually going to produce.
Would I take him in redraft? No, I don't think so. I don't think Casey Concepcion's getting drafted in our league. Maybe in like the 20th round.
You don't think he's going to actually get targets per game?
I think if he does, it's going to
Plural
take
targets per game?
Plural is 2, Jeff. 2 targets will satisfy.
You can do a lot with fucking 2 targets. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, if you can't do a lot with 2 targets, then I'm fucking David Tyree. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. Did we draft David Tyree?
No, we didn't. But I'm just saying you can do a lot with 2 targets.
Yeah, that's true. For the record, I have Concepcion statted out for 900 receiving yards.
Fuck you, then. Fuck you, Jack. He's not going to do shit. Fuck you. He's not going to do. See, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. When we go into a podcast and we start talking about shit, and then stuff comes out of me, and you're like, man, that's wrong. Don't fucking stat him out for 900 yards and then say no one's going to pick him.
But Jeff, that puts him.
No dad voice. No dad voice allowed. Don't pull that shit out on me.
Listen here, son. So I have him for 4 touchdowns, 900 yards. That puts him.
How many receptions?
79.
That's fucking more than Alec Pierce got last year, and you talked up Alec Pierce like he was the man.
Yeah, but Alec Pierce had over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. With
how many receptions? 50?
47. I know that one off the top of my head because I love Alex.
Dude,
Pierce.
Get out of here. You have, oh my God, that's like a direct disrespect to this rookie class that just came in.
Okay, we'll count I like 4 rookie wide receivers. Name another one.
Another rookie wide receiver that's going to do well?
A rookie that I'll draft. I got 2 running backs and I got. Yeah, so he's Mekhi Lemon, Jordyn Tyson, Carnell Tate, Casey Concepcion, Jadarian Price, Jeremiyah Love. That's it. That's all that's going in redraft. That's it.
Those 5? Was that 5 or 6?
That was 6 because I added
6.
Concepcion.
Okay. Well, how many?
All right, let's move on.
Fuck. All right.
I don't have that number. I'll get it for you though, Jeff.
Argument for another day. We could talk about it later.
All right.
Pussy.
My favorite player to draft in round 4 is a guy that I have historically been down on.
Which one?
Travis.
Which one, Jack?
Travis.
Who is it this time?
I'm just drafting both Etiennes. No, so Travis.
You're gonna give me a heart attack. Oh my God.
Travis Etienne. Look, he's on the Saints. I'm drafting that whole freaking team. I'm in.
If he doesn't at least copy what he did last year, I will be baffled because I think he's going to go above and beyond from what he did last year. Give him, what do you have, 1,100 rushing yards last year?
1,100 rushing yards, and he had 7 touchdowns. He had another 400 and through the air, another 5 touchdowns.
Give him 13, 10, 6, and 6.
So if he does that, 4th round is so late. But I'm just counting him to repeat.
I don't think he's going to last that long. That's just me saying it because of what I think he's capable of and what he's been capable of. He's had 1 down year.
Yeah, he's had 1 down year. He's going into a good high volume offense. It's crazy he's this late. I really don't understand it. I don't know if people are afraid.
When you have a player that starts off hot, has a down year, and has that bounce back year, that bounce back year becomes so important when you're drafting after that because everybody knows that he's capable of having a year where it's not completely him. He's not himself. He's not playing how he normally does and how we know he can. But that bounce back year makes it even more important because he'll come right back and do better than he did the year before he had a bad year. So we're moving towards, I don't want to say greatness this early in his career, but we're moving towards some steady play.
I mean, here is his career. 1,100 yards, 1,000 yards, 550, 1,100. So 3 out of 4 years, he's had 1,000+ yards, and his touchdowns 5, 11, 2, 7. So that one down year, if you take that out, he might be going in the first round.
It was a fluke.
It was a fluke. It was injury.
Like
Who knows what
Rich
it was?
Porcello winning the Cy Young. It was a fluke. It was a fluke.
Yeah, well, we could agree with that one.
I'm a Red Sox fan saying that. So, anyways, for me, 4th round, this is late for him. It's not late. This is probably going to be where he goes. I will not be Rob Gronkowski and pronounce his name wrong. Emeka Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka.
He's the wide receiver 1 on the Bucs, man.
Are you scared at all that the second half of the year was who he really is?
So,
or better yet, is who Baker really is.
Okay, so there's a little nervousness within me. But when you say that it's the whole who's your guy? Who's your guy? Who are you going to take here? What's the person you're going to go with? Are you going to go with the higher statted man? Or when you get nervous because of how the draft is going and things that need to get there's tweaks that happen. And by tweaks, I mean like people are going to do things that you do not expect. So when things like that happen, if it happens around one of your picks, who are you going to go with? You're going to go with your guy because that's where your gut is going and it's where you feel safe. I'm going to go with Egbuka because Egbuka is going to be my replacement for Stafford and he's going to be my GOAT when Stafford retires. So as far as that's concerned, I will still go with Egbuka because I think Baker had a down year last year, but I think it was just, I'm not going to call it a fluke because I think he's had down years before. He played for the Browns. So he's used to coming back for a bounce back. And I think this year with him as his wide receiver 1, he's going to start off hotter than he did last year. And as we all know, he started off hot last season. So if he starts off hotter than he did last year, then my assumption is that the cool down will still be hotter than it was last year because he's that wide receiver 1 instead of they had him. He got his targets, but he was still like a wide receiver 3-ish.
Yeah, he got his targets. He led the league in uncatchable target rate. So there were a lot of targets he couldn't do anything with. And some of it might be his fault, right? Because maybe he wasn't getting open enough. Maybe he wasn't running the route the way Baker wanted. Who knows? I'm like half in, half out on him because I don't want to miss out. I'm going to have FOMO because if he really is the guy he looked like before his, a hamstring injury? Yeah. If he really is that guy, he could be a wide receiver 1.
That's going to be my next Stitch jersey that I'm going for. So, and I'm not even a Bucs fan, but I'll put in for it, brother.
I mean, he's fun to watch. That's for damn sure. And the wide receivers in this range around him, I like him. I don't love him. So it's Terry McLaurin, Egbuka. Now I'm thinking Egbuka. I'm all confused. McLaurin, Egbuka, Jaylen Waddle, Devontae Adams, Luther Burden. It's a mix. So it's like you could take steady production with Adams. You could take the upside with Burden. You could grab another like quality vet with Waddle. It's an interesting range. And I like them all for different reasons, depending on my team build.
I mean, if I wouldn't look like such a fucking maniac, I would probably take him in the second round. But, here we are.
Don't you dare.
Yeah. I can't. He's my keeper anyways. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could reach one round on this guy, but
reach one round. I agree with you there. All right. 5th round. Who do you got?
5th round. Right now I have Mike Evans written down.
Former wide receiver 1 on the Bucs.
Yeah. He's just so damn steady. I really just like I in the 5th round, I just love that stabilizer. I'm gonna
We
take
talk
that
about it
pick.
every time he comes up. Is he going 1,000 yards this year?
Yes, he's gotta. Come on, he's gotta.
What if oh fuck, now I'm drawing a blank. What if his quarterback gets hurt again this year like he did last year?
I'm not
Mike
that worried
Evans healthy as can be, but
I'm not that worried because Mac Jones is the backup, and criticize me all you want. Criticize me all you want.
I won't
Mac
criticize you
Jones.
because Mac Jones can play. He's a baller. He's a
Mac
baller.
Jones is the quarterback who made BTJ ball out. He likes throwing outside. He likes throwing deep. So
Mac
I almost like it better.
Mac Jones came into the league and everybody thought he was going to be a QB1. He's comfortable in that QB2 role.
I think he could be a starter. I still like Mac Jones.
I think if you're Dan Orlovsky for life, man, if you're a QB2, you stay in that QB2 role and you do what you're good at. Coming in when everybody else is hurt, coming in when when your guy is hurt and doing what he has done, I mean, even if it's only 5 games and you're throwing 200 yards per game, hey, I'm right there with you.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm not there with you because you're in the NFL, but you know what I mean.
Great call out, Dan Orlovsky, UConn, baby. So the only other thing,
all-time greatest QB2, a guy I work with knows what I mean by that.
All right. The only other thing I'll say about round 5 is if, like, Mike Evans is a great stabilizer. If I have a totally stable, boring team, I might take a shot on a guy like Christian Watson. I might take a shot on a guy like Bucky Irving that has risk, but like if I feel comfortable with my team, if they're really steady, I might take that high upside guy instead of Mike Evans, who I know will just be steady.
So what you're saying is that Mike Evans is the safe pick.
He's the safe pick, right? And if my team is already safe, I might take a risk. Because I don't think Mike Evans' ceiling is that high. Like he's probably going to go for like 1,008. I'd be surprised if he went for like 1,412. You know what I mean?
If somebody's floor is 1,000 yards, are we complaining?
No, I'm not complaining. Hey, he's my guy to take. I love Mike Evans. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take him a lot.
I was going to say his ceiling's not that high, but his floor is 1,000 yards. Well, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like his floor, Jeff, is like right here. His ceiling is like right here. You know what I mean? It's like his floor is like 980 yards, and his ceiling is like 1,100.
That's a sweet spot. That's a sweet spot to be in. That's
a good spot to be
in. It is. You can't go wrong. Listen, for me, 5th round, Skattebo.
I knew you were going there.
So now let's look at everybody I have. I have Bijan, Jeanty, Jeremiyah Love, Emeka Egbuka, and then Skattebo. That's 4 fucking running backs. The league that we're talking about better be a fucking 2 flex. Especially after this next round. But anyways, so Skattebo. If he did not get hurt last year, this would be one hell of a fucking drop and one hell of a fucking steal. If he did not get hurt last year, there is absolutely no way he'd be making it past the 3rd round. Not a fucking chance.
You're probably right. And he is a pure volume play. I mean, you could load that guy up with 1,000,000 touches. And I think the Giants will.
I mean, granted, you see the other. I mean, excuse me. They have Tracy. He can fucking run as long as he holds on to the ball. Singletary has played very well before. I went high on him a couple of years ago.
He's a good back.
God,
he's getting old, but he's good.
That tasted like shit coming out of my mouth. I went high on him. High on him was like round 16. So we came out with last week, Eric Gray can actually play football, but he is like way down the road. There's guys that can play ball there, and there's guys that they're going to use in random spots because they're going to run hard this year. But Skattebo he is going to be the front and center every single time there's an important play on the line or something. He's going to be the one, and I think he's going to get a bulk of all that run game, if not just a bulk of the offense in general as a whole.
Yeah, and he could do it all too. He could catch the ball. I know Tracy's a receiving back, but Scat could catch, and Scat to pull out one of your guys. He's like Rondane down there. He's gonna pound the ball. So he'll put his head down. He'll run right into a wall.
He's not just gonna pound his own head. He's gonna pound everybody else's head as well.
Yeah, that's right. So I love Scat, and in my big money league, he's one of my keepers. I'm keeping him for a 10th round pick, so I'm psyched.
That's actually fucking.
No, it's a deal. I got him for a 10, and I got Luther Burden for a 12. I'm sitting pretty.
Whew.
No surprise, I won that league last year. So,
oh my god!
And those two guys, I mean, like Scat, he got hurt, but he's one of those reasons why. So next, anyways, 6th round, I'm gonna go with a tight end, the first tight end, and I've talked at length about how I like to take Bowers and McBride early because I think they're game breakers. I love them. If I miss on them, Tyler Warren is my tight end 3, and I think that he's going to soak up so many targets I think he's going to get like most of Michael Pittman's targets. So I think he could lead that team in targets. He is going to give you an advantage at that position without paying that 2nd or 3rd round draft cost.
Do you think he's going berserk this year just because of Pittman leaving, or do you think he's just going to gain an average of like, I don't know, 3 or 4? I mean, 3 or 4 sounds. It sounds like a lot of targets. It is. It does. It sounds like a lot of targets extra per game. But do you think he's going to go ballistic this year?
I think he's going to go ballistic. I think he's got
that can keep it going.
He's got a legitimate chance to, in my eyes, to compete with Bowers and McBride.
He's not old.
Oh God, he's 23. He's 24 years old. And a crazy thing is he also had like, I don't know, 10 carries last year, something like that. So they trust him in areas of the field that, most tight ends are not trusted. So Tyler Warren is without a doubt. Did I just freeze, or was that you?
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Tyler Warren is just one of those guys that like I could see him going ballistic. I could really see him coming out as like a 2nd round pick next year.
What do you have him statted at?
So Tyler Warren, I have statted out at 900 yards and 9 touchdowns with 90 receptions, that puts him at tight end 3 in my stats.
Is that behind McBride and Bowers?
Behind McBride and Bowers.
That's exactly. See, now that's all right. So my wife is a Steelers fan, so I should remember Pittman leaving more often, but I don't. So I apologize for that. But the more that I think about Michael Pittman leaving, and the more that I think about Tyler Warren's gain that he will be getting from the Colts, I think it's going to be. I mean, do you think it puts a little niche like nook in the run game at all, or do you think?
No, I think tight ends in particular. I think actually like the better the run game is, the better the tight end game is, because like you think they may block and they peel off for a little like dump off. So
hold on a second. The better the run game, the better the tight end. Brock Bowers. When was the last time the Raiders had a good run game?
Let's use an example.
When was the last time the fucking Cardinals had a?
Let's use an example that's not a tight end that's like superstar elite number 1. So the thing about McBride is he could line up outside and get his own get his own broken down coverage.
Okay.
Most tight ends need a little bit of help. And that little bit of help comes from the run game. You could do play action, you could pretend to block, you could leak out, nobody's covering you. So I think for outside of these like game breakers, like Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski, Brock Bowers, I think a run game helps tight ends. So that's what I'm trying to say. You used some pretty good examples, but so
I think I'm just
so
gonna
Tyler
have to
Warren
take
had
your word. You're not
Tyler
really
Warren had 800 receiving yards last year.
Yeah, okay.
And,
How many
and Michael
receptions did he have
Pittman had
last
800
year?
receiving yards last year.
Okay, so
I set it out. I think like 74. I think.
Okay, so you're saying so now you have him set it at, all right. So this brings up a good point then too. Pittman leaving and some of the extra targets and yardage and whatnot going towards Warren. So if we'll stick to that 74. Let's say it's like 77 just to add a couple more. And you have him statted at 90 this year. That's only 13 more than it was last year. So there's a chance that he could be over 100 receptions this year and be in that Trey McBride fucking territory with Pittman gone, is what I'm hearing.
A definite chance, because in my stats, I have Josh Downs going from like 500 yards receiving to almost 1,000. So
now is this with Daniel Jones in or Daniel Jones out?
This is with Daniel Jones in, because he's projected to start week 1.
And if Daniel Jones is out for a little while, will Richardson be playing?
If he is, I would say yes, he will be. And if he is, I'll roll back these stats a little bit, because
are those pictures real? Because he looks fucking jacked out of his mind.
They're real.
Oh my dude. Oh my God. He looks fucking oh my God, superhero status. He should be in a Marvel movie. He looks jacked out of his fucking mind.
Put that guy in at defensive end.
Put him in a fucking cage match against fucking Brian Urlacher, and he's probably going to win right now. Jesus Christ, dude.
All right, who's your 6th round pick?
6th round pick. This better be a fucking 3-flex league, because I got Jadarian Price, man.
Another running back.
So and now we're in the zone where it's like, oh, who's Jeff going to go most overall? Obviously, it's running backs. I'm a running back guy through and through. That's where my heart goes. They're all my heartthrobs. I love every single one of them just as much as the next. But Jadarian Price is starting off right at the rip as the RB1 on the Seahawks. We've gone over it before. We've talked about him. We don't know what his numbers could be, but I want to know, Jack, what do you have him statted out at?
So Jadarian Price, I think you're right. I think he's gonna take that job, like rip it right out of.
He's gonna take that job and run with it. No pun intended.
Hey. So Jadarian Price, I have him statted out at 8. So I have a qualifier. Okay, 866 yards and 5 touchdowns. Here's the reason why it's so low. Is because I have Zach Charbonnet statted for a whole season.
Okay. Charbonnet, week 8. Are we here in week 8? My guess was week 8 because of what the injury was, but
I have heard some very mixed reviews, but the earliest I have heard is week 5. So
Sleeper doesn't even have him injured anymore, so I'm fucking confused.
Right. So that's why my stats are all messed up. If I were to have him miss 4 games, I'll probably add, let's say, 20 carries to Jadarian Price, and that would move him up 100 yards.
Yeah, 100 to 150, easy.
Yep. If you were to move 8 games, I would probably do 40 more carries, and that would be 200 yards. And also with targets. And I think the closer we get to this season, I think the more we learn about Zach Charbonnet, the higher Jadarian Price is going to go.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly on that one. It depends on how bad the injury still is, how he's been doing in his PT. How fast? Eventually, we're going to have to figure out what the fastest somebody's come back from that injury is.
Yeah, I don't have that info offhand. You also have to push Jadarian Price down just a little bit in case Charbonnet is fully healthy at the end of the year in the fantasy playoffs and stealing touchdowns. Am I that worried? No. I think Jadarian Price is going to be an RB2. And it's like you're getting him right now in the 6th round. That's
if you're thinking, if you're thinking Jadarian Price, he's a rookie. 866 yards as a rookie. Like, what does that say? That says a lot. And that's also, so that's statted out for a full season, but that's statted out for a full season with Charbonnet also there. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. It's a huge deal because they also have Charbonnet taking 9 touchdowns. Again, if Jadarian Price is the guy, he's going to be the goal line guy. So it's like even with him playing this whole season, I have him right there next to David Montgomery in projections, and David Montgomery is going 2 rounds ahead of him. So I have him right there with Ken Walker. So he's due for a big season. I think he's a great bet in the 6th round.
The man he's replacing.
Yeah, exactly. Who has basically no competition on the Chiefs. Correct. So my 7th round pick, I have RJ Harvey. The more I think about RJ Harvey, the more I'm in. I talked about him a bit last week, so I'm not gonna dwell on him. But RJ Harvey, I think, here's the thing. He's going as the 30th running back off the board. Last year, he was the 20th running back in how he finished. So I see him taking more carries from J.K. Dobbins. I don't see him losing a ton of work to Jonah Coleman.
J.K. Dobbins is falling out.
Yeah,
I think he's going to take he's taking it's not even due to the health. It's just due to the fact of who they have. They have Jonah Coleman. So I have a feeling that Dobbins is probably going to be taking that back seat, and RJ Harvey is going to be taking that RB1, and Jonah Coleman will be taking that RB2. Granted, everything pans out the way that it usually doesn't pan out when it comes to injuries in the preseason. But I do think he's going to end up taking that back seat due to, injury prone. The age is getting up there. As far as running backs go. So you've got a good 6 to 8 years if you can stay healthy as a very good running back. And he's missing his window because he can't stay healthy. So that back seat, like to watch him play, think he's a great player. Don't trust Jay when he's trying to give him to you. I just think we're not at the end of his career yet, but I do think he is going to get ready for that back seat and wait to see what happens when somebody else gets hurt on that team.
Yeah. Jonah Coleman, I think so. So RJ Harvey will never be a bell cow. He'll never have 250 carries.
That doesn't mean that they won't try to make him the bell cow.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think that coaching staff is going to do that to him because of the other weapons that they have on that offense. But I do think that it's possible for people that we don't look at his size. He's not going to be a bell cow.
No, he's 5'8". He's sturdy. He's 5'8", over 200 pounds. But he's a great receiver. He's explosive. I see him. I have him statted for 160 carries and 55 receptions, which is a high volume in high value touches. So that's a guy you could plug into your flex or even your RB2 and feel comfortable with. He's not going to have 300 fantasy points under any circumstance, but he'll be reliable. He'll be extremely reliable, and I want that in the 7th round.
7th round for me, Harold Fannin.
Your boy.
Throw it to Harold Fannin. I'll say 70 plus receptions coming this year to him. I'm not going to say 1,000 yards because for him it could be somewhere between 700 and 900 as well. 8+ touchdowns. just to have him set it out as a Jeff hot take. I don't think anything is bad about getting him in the 7th round. I don't. I do think he is going to be on the up. Excuse me. I do think he's going to be on the up and up this year, just like he was on the up and up in his rookie season last year, coming out of Bowling Green. I think he's got a good future. And I like what I saw from him last year. I like what I saw from him in college. And I'm already liking what I'm going to probably see from him this year. So it's short take, but I do like him where he is.
Elite athlete, good player. I hate that he's on the Browns.
Hey, he beat out a Chieftain, so he's got
he's
got that going for him, man.
Facts, man. Yeah. He's an awesome red zone threat. If he was on a team that threw for a lot of touchdowns, he would have 12 of them. But he's on a team that doesn't throw a lot of touchdowns.
You don't know what's going to happen this year.
I know what's going to happen. Here's my crystal ball. They're going to be bad.
They had a little bit trouble at quarterback last year because your most hated player was the one that basically started for him. But I'm just overall, it's the Browns. Look, if the floor of the Browns is 4 wins and they come out with 7 or 8, Browns fans are looking pretty fucking good. And I'm not talking shit because I do like the way that they played last year in certain games. They played up against teams that they should have played up against. I'm not going to say that they showed up because if they showed up, they would have won. But there was more than one game last year that they kept within reach for 4 quarters.
Well, they had a great defense, and I think Fannin.
They had the defender, so it kind of helps.
That's true. Yeah. Well, they got versed. They were playing. They're still going to have a good defense, but
exactly. So there's a chance that they could. There's a chance they could repeat what they did last year. They didn't do fucking shit last year, so what do they want to repeat? If they want to repeat a good defense, then by all means continue with what you had going for you. But they added offensive weapons. We've already talked about it in episodes before this. But Harold Fannin is one of those weapons that is going to do better than the good that he did last year. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he's a great player. I could see it happening. I'm not taking him because I think the Browns will stink.
Well, you stink. So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. So my next pick, I have 8th round Blake Corum.
I have no words.
Why? Am I stealing yours?
No, I'm just wondering why the fuck he's your 8th round.
So last year with Kyron, he was productive. He was startable in your flex. You didn't feel great about it, but he was getting 10, 12 touches a game. He was going for 60 yards. He was getting red zone work in a great offense. I think he just pulls a little bit more work out of Kyron this year. I'm not projecting him to take the job. I'm just projecting it as more of a split.
How many seasons has he been in?
This is his 3rd year.
And he's 2 years past what everybody thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be RB1 2 years ago. Correct?
Yeah. I agree. I thought there was a chance he took.
They pumped him up. I won't even. You can't even say it was ESPN that pumped him up, but somebody pumped him up. The football community pumped him up to make it sound like he was going to be the RB1 on the Rams 2 years ago. A lot of people drafted him high. He has not panned out. I don't see him beating Williams out. If he gets more than 400 fucking rushing yards this year, I'll eat my words.
Jeff, he will get more than 400 rushing yards this year.
What did he get last year?
746 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Last year?
Yeah, as the RB. As the
words. I guess I'm already eating my words. See, now it's just the guys that I don't like. If you're somebody that I don't like, I'm not gonna talk very nicely about you.
So here's what I am envisioning. Kyron Williams had 259 carries last year and 1,200 yards, which is a ton of work. Blake Corum had 145 and 700, right? So big discrepancy there.
No, you're telling me, so I have to say right.
Right? Look it up, Jeff. Look it up. Check tape. No,
You're the stat machine, you fucker. Calm down.
So if 30 of those carries trickle over from Kyron to Blake Corum, which they've talked about reducing Kyron's workload, that 700 yards is going to be 900 yards. Those six touchdowns is going to be 8 touchdowns. And then if Kyron gets hurt, if something does happen, Blake Corum becomes a top 6 or 7 fantasy running back.
And then we start looking at the Rams like they're the Falcons from the early 2000s. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so it's like they run the ball. They run the ball great. It's an insane offense. If I could get a piece of it in the 8th round, I like the prospects of it, and I could flex play him while I wait for something to change.
I feel like the Patriots are going to feel in the first 4 games this season. I feel a little learnt right now. I do feel a little learnt.
You're buying a little Blake Corum, I see. So who's your 8th round pick?
There's just a tad bit. I mean, I think it was in the way that you spoke about it. It made me feel like I've been missing out these last couple of years. And if somebody had told me that he had done that well last year, earlier than today, I probably wouldn't have believed him because I did not know he did that well last year. I really did not.
Yeah, he had a good year. For me,
he's all right. So before I get into my 8th round, what I'll say about Blake Corum is 2 years ago, he bounced around on the free agent list in numerous leagues all season long after he was drafted higher and dropped because he didn't produce in the first, we'll say 3 to 4 games of the season. So I have expected him to continue his ways throughout the last year to 2 of his career. I did not realize that the Rams actually had their fucking wits about them and they knew what they were doing this entire time. Because when a player ends up fucking in a small production year, when they assume it's going to be a high production year, it usually puts them out to the pasture. They don't get shot yet, but they normally put them out to the pasture in line to do so on death row. It's one of those things that's, as far as fantasy goes, fantasy football,
running back especially.
Running back especially, that's normally what ends up happening. So it sounds like Corum is coming out of the fucking darkness and he's coming back to life, which is nice to hear because that normally is not what ends up happening.
Yeah. Give me your 8th round pick, Jeff.
Jordyn Tyson.
My man. Saints, baby.
Going with the fucking rookie. Not that there wasn't any rookies before this, because there was. I've got 3 rookies right now in these 8 rounds.
4.
But 4. Love, Price, Tyson.
Oh, you're right.
3 second years, but 3 fucking. Oh no, sorry. 4 second year. 4 second years. 4 second years and 3 rookies, and then Bijan Robinson. What a fucking weird team. Anyways, so this better be. Oh my God, there's like fucking 2 wide receivers. This better be a high flex. So Jordyn Tyson, he's a rookie. He's on the Saints. You talk so highly about him. It started making me think things. No, even before that. Jordyn Tyson is a very talented player. He's got skills that you want in your 3rd or 4th year in the NFL. And he's got them in his 1st. And he hasn't even touched the field yet. And I'm already out there fucking giving hot takes like this. I think he's got the skills and he's got the push to take away a little from Olave, but not a lot. I think how do I even put this? I think his addition to the team takes away more from Johnson than it does from Olave. And I think it adds to those offensive weapons clearly, and it makes their running game that much more sturdy.
I think it's going to be one of those like the rising tide lifts all boats situations. I think Olave is going to get more one-on-one coverage. I think he's going to pull the safety over to his side of his field sometimes. I think Etienne is going to bring those safeties down. I think it's just going to be a better offense. So I think everybody's going to benefit. I have him for almost 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. I'm in. I love Jordyn Tyson. I love the Saints. So, I'll have.
Did anyone see last episode?
Anybody see any of these episodes? Yeah, I'm in. I think I agree with everything you said. And on top of it, he's just a great talent. I mean, he's just a great receiver. He's so athletic, jump balls, route running, separation, everything. All right.
I'm gonna agree with you. I don't think you're wrong at all. Not with him.
Saints, baby, Saints. So let's talk about really briefly some players you like to build your team around. I think the first and second round picks are obvious, but sometimes it makes sense to build your team around like late picks who you really believe in. Like you could wait on certain positions and then grab a guy you really like late to fill it. That mostly applies to like quarterback and tight end. So if you like wait on quarterback, you could grab Goff late. If you wait on tight end, you could grab like Chig Okonkwo or George Kittle or something like that. But talk to me about some players you like to build your team around and how you like to do that.
We talked about it earlier in this episode. The first and second round. So I'll toss it out there. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy that you can take in the first round, top 5 picks. And I think, well, for me, top 5 picks, but I think you could build your entire team around him. And the reason why I say that, and the reason why I say that about you just mentioned it, any first and second round player. This year, those first and second rounds, those players are all hot coming into the season right now. Everybody's on fire. Not that they're normally not on fire, because to be taken in the first or second round in a fantasy league, whether it be an 8, 10, or 12-man league, you got to be doing something right? So that being said, they're all fucking hot. And when you take those guys, first round is going to be the guy that you assume is going to score probably your most points throughout the rest of that fantasy season. And the second round guy would be the guy who would be second in points, you would hope. The reason why I think you build your team around them, like a player like Amon-Ra St. Brown, is because they're very easy to center your focus on. And then if everybody else is producing around him that's on your team, it's something that's just going to build you up throughout the rest of the season. So is he my favorite player to build a team around? Probably not. My favorite player would probably be a Bijan or a Gibbs, but that's because I'm a running back guy. If it's the safe bet, you take the guy that you can get in the middle of that first round, which is an Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah. You have to have a top 3 pick to get a Bijan or a Gibbs, and of course you want to build around them. So building around just a steady guy like Amon-Ra is a great plan. And we talked about this earlier. If you grab safe players high, so that's like Amon-Ra, that's we'll say CeeDee Lamb, guys that we know will produce but won't like blow you away in specific weeks. It allows you safety in taking risks later. So you could grab
the only way that you're going to have safety, the only way that you'll have safety is if you actually keep to your plan, though. And how many people do we know that actually keep to their plan? There's not many out there, because you end up being like, oh man, I got Bijan first pick, I got Gibbs second pick, Chase third pick, whoever it may be, Puka fourth, Amon-Ra St. Brown fifth. I got my guy. I'm going to be safe after this, and I'm going to build around him and build up after that. And then somebody takes one of the guys that you're going for in the third fucking round, and that's when the risks start to happen. And that's when the chain reactions come in, and your risk continues. My risk started about a month ago. And it's not going to stop until about a month and a half from now. So I'm a little far out there for guys that are going to build off of one guy, but being that I have the lesser amount of picks in those first 10 rounds that I have this year than I did last year, there's a chance that playing it safe and building up around who I will be taking, Bijan, with the first pick overall, there's a chance that it could happen, and there's a chance that I'm going to have to end up doing that to keep myself safe in that little circular bubble that I like to call how Jeff does not end up in last place.
Yeah, Jeff, we're going to write you some fantasy rankings going into this year. We're gonna like actually write them down on paper, and you're gonna follow them, and you're not gonna reach on players, and you're gonna be okay.
Oh my God, man! If I don't end up in the hospital after that, Jesus.
Which brings us into a nice little safe zone consistency players, and that's safe IDPs as well. I'll talk about some of my safe IDPs, and one rule that I like to follow is, well, actually I have two rules. One, you draft middle linebackers who play 100% of snaps, and you draft rookie linebackers who play 100% of snaps, because both of those types of players, you could find ones that are depressed in value. So Mac Wilson, he's not a sexy name. Nate Landman, he's not a sexy name. And Sonny Styles, he is a sexy name, but he's a rookie, so some people are scared. All three of those guys are going to play 100% of snaps, and they're just going to rack up tackles. They're just so safe, and you could probably grab them late in your IDP drafts.
My top two guys for safe IDPs, it's going completely against everything that you just said. Neither one of them are middle linebackers. They're both defensive backs. Budda Baker number 1 and Derwin James Jr. number 2. They're both safe bets. And I mean, if again, it's because of what I'm used to as far as IDPs. We play way more IDPs than most fucking leagues do, and we're only an 8-man league. We're way out there. We're off the fucking reservation, and we love doing it because it's the greatest thing that you could do. More IDPs, more fun. And those two guys always go off the board fast when that chain reaction with defensive backs happen. That's why my safe zone for safeties is very early on, just because of the fact that Budda Baker is always top 2, 3, and Derwin James Jr., younger than Budda Baker, had an offseason waiting for the bounce back. We're right there with him, and everybody still loves him. He's still a top name. He's still going to be a top defensive pick.
Yeah, you picked two of the best safeties in the league, right? They also play 100% of snaps. They play down in the box. You know, they both get tackles at the line of scrimmage. They both get sacks. They're almost like middle linebackers, in a sense. So yeah, if you want to pay up for those guys, absolutely do it. You know, they're studs. They're absolute studs. And I'll take my late round guys, and I'll flounder all year, and I'll eventually trade you too much to get one of your good linebackers. But you know, we all have our crosses to bear.
Eventually didn't happen. Eventually happened early last year, Jackie boy.
Yeah, it was what's his name from the Broncos that I gave up a freaking arm and a leg for.
And I always forget his name because he didn't end up doing what everybody thought he was going to do last year just off of what he did the season before. I can't fucking remember his name. I've been trying to think about him for a week, and I need to look him up, and I just don't look him up because I need my stat man. You know what I'm saying?
His name is Nick Bonito.
That's Nick Bonito. He's the one. Was that week 5? Maybe
brother, I traded for him, and when I traded for him, he had like 14 sacks. At the end of the season, he had like 15. So it wasn't a good trade on my part.
Well, for what it's worth, my defense still kept moving up and up, but my offense didn't even fucking move a muscle after that. So, you know, neither one of us really won out of that trade. But
all right, so let's run through some predictions, and we're gonna do NFC South, which is best for last. We're done with the AFC. We're done with the NFC. I'm doing Saints at 11. I know I talk about them like they're going undefeated, but they're not. They're getting 11 wins. I'm doing Bucks at 8. I'm blackballing them a little bit. I think they're going to struggle. Panthers, I think, take a step back too. I just don't think they have the talent, and I like their coach, but 7 wins for the Panthers. And Falcons, we love Bijan, we love Drake London, we love Kyle Pitts, we hate Tua and Michael Penix. So Falcons 6.
I'll do oh Jesus, this is gonna be NFC South. All right, so we'll say for me, Bucks 10, Saints 10,
Ooh.
Panthers 9, Falcons 7.
All righty. I have a fun stat for you after we do predictions, Jeff. Okay, so the next prediction we're doing is Baker over under passing yards. So he had 4,500 in 2024, 3,700 in 2025. So the over under that I'm going to give you is smack in the middle of that, 4,100. Over or under 4,100 yards in 2026.
So 4,500 yards in 24 with a Mike Evans that had over 1,000.
Yep.
3,725 with a hurt Godwin and a hurt Evans.
Yep.
4,100 is the over-under in 26. I'll say
Smack
over.
in the middle.
I'll say over at 43.
Okay, so you're projecting a pretty good bounce back, which I knew you would because you have those Bucks at 10 wins. Look, it's very possible, and I think if Baker has a bad year this year, he might be done. I think the Bucks might replace him. So he needs to ball out, and Baker plays his best when people are doubting him.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, and that's the reason why the Bucks snagged him. The Bucks snagged him because everybody was doubting him. They said his career was over. They said the NFL was pushing him out. Then he came right back out, and he's made the playoffs since. So,
yeah, he's a dog. He plays hard. His teammates love him. All right, which non-Bijan running back finishes with the most rushing yards in the NFC South? Travis Etienne, Chuba Hubbard, Bucky Irving. If you want to pick another one, you can, but those are the three obvious ones. It's a tough one.
Chuba at 12-20.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think it's because I think he's got some shit that he needs to prove and that he wants to prove this year after what happened last year. After that travesty that happened to him last year. I'll say now I'll say Etienne at 11-20.
Okay, close.
And then I'll say Bucky at 850.
I think Bucky.
I'm putting Bucky at 850 because with White gone, I think he gets a couple more receptions and he bumps himself up on that side of the ball.
And they also brought in Gainwell, who's no slouch. He's a good
proved
bat.
that last year. He proved that last year, and he proved it when he was with the Eagles. So,
yep. So here's my fun stat for you, Jeff. We have now statted out every division, and you have after every division gets statted out, the wins, there's 544 games played, right? Total. Every team put together, 544 games. So hypothetically, the win percentage should be 50-50, right? Because as many games played, if you win, another team has to lose. You have 70 more games being won than being lost. You have a 56% win percentage over all of your divisions, which is impossible. So we're going to have to revisit this before the season starts and even out those numbers because somebody's got to lose, Jeff. I'm sorry to tell you.
So every single time that we talk about and we stat out what we think teams are going to do, and I get fucking trigger happy and I get fucking hyped because we have a great podcast and I go in thinking about it. It's the last thing that we do. You got to ask me right when we fucking come in, Jackie boy, if you want me to give you the real answers.
We're going to have to do an episode where we go through all our predictions and amend them because we can't be held responsible for what we said a month ago.
But we're going to no matter what anyways. And I will, you know what? Fuck it. Don't hold me responsible. If I'm a happy guy, I want to give a shitty team a good record. But in the long run, when we actually do that episode, let's do it a little closer towards the season so I can shit on who I need to shit on while we're doing this.
Hell yeah, brother. All right. That's Fantasy Dad Duo checking out.
Have a good night, guys.